Having limited mobility doesn't have to mean that your walking days are behind you. Now that the Town of Dennis Council on Aging and Department of Natural Resources has proposed a new walking trail on Setucket Road and Route 134 in Dennis.
We're here to present some concept plans and designs for the Independence Trail. And it's a trail that would be a physical therapy trail geared towards the seniors, but also for all ages.
It is probably the only physical therapy park or trail that is going to incorporate a number of clusters and areas, creating the least disturbance to that environment, but allowing folks to use it for physical therapy purposes.
The Independence Pathway would promote the use of conservation land to support the health and well-being of residents who are in rehabilitation after a fall or those living with mobility challenges and cognitive impairment.
We have a growing aging population in Dennis. It's a very active population. They like to walk and talk is one of our clubs. We have all types of exercise classes and groups that love to be active and engaged. And so we couldn't think of a better location between the senior center and between senior housing to create a physical therapy walkway.
There'll be some exercise equipment, just various things to use, but it really is geared towards the people that live in this area, around the area, the community, being so close to the senior center and to senior housing.
If approved, the pathway will be ADA compliant and be designed to help walkers improve balance, strength, and flexibility.
Fully ADA compliant, that's very important. There'll also be some ADA parking spaces. There'll be a few parking spaces, not a lot, because of course the land isn't too large, but there will be parking at the senior center, and there would be a possibility for some, maybe a golf cart or something to shuttle people over if there's a group that wants to come over.
The project is funded through a grant from the Dennis Community Preservation Committee and was approved by voters at the October 2017 special town meeting.
You know, there's an aging population, and I deal with a lot of older people that are used to walking in the woods and walking on conservation lands. And unfortunately, most of them are not accessible to people with mobility issues. So we started looking at conservation areas that we might be able to put simply a handicapped accessible trail, wide enough for a wheelchair, compacted, sediment, etc. And then I reached out to the Council on Aging, and we started saying, well, what about the piece across the street? It's perfect. It's near senior housing, it's near Council on Aging. And we kind of just got the ball rolling, and we talked to people like my son who had an injury and other people with autistic children, etc. And we approached the community preservation group for some funding to see if we could at least develop a design.
The proposed walkway would be built with environmentally friendly building materials and include a wheelchair ramp and educational signage.
When we first learned about the project, that our client, the town of Dennis, that was actually one of their requirements, was that we really respect nature and that we try to use a lot of the natural elements in the design, down to rather than bringing in some kind of a exercise equipment from a catalog, that we maybe think about how that could be constructed from logs, from boulders that may be excavated from the site, that sort of thing.
The town of Dennis has invited the public to view the proposed design and provide feedback.
We really want to hear what the community has to say, because what we're thinking, we think we're geared towards what they're thinking, because we've done some research and this did come from the open space plan survey, that people really have the need. They want more outdoor activities and more places to walk. So we think we're good there, but there might be something we're missing or not thinking of. Maybe it's too much, maybe it's too little. So we really want to hear the comments, both good and bad.
Of course, it's all in a conceptual stage right now. We just had our first public comments on this, and so I'm sure that you'll be hearing more about it. And of course, come to the Senior Center. We have information here, we have the displays, and we're always happy to answer any questions you have.
For more information about the Independence Pathway project, visit the Dennis Senior Center or visit them online. In Dennis, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rosson.